So I saw this post where someone spent a lot of time on Fusion. Just want to let people know that you can do this easily on PrusaSlicer. So I'm going to make this really quick tutorial, show people how you have other options. Okay, so shape gallery. Okay, so you could add a cone if you want to print this in ABS and smooth it or do it in like a very small nozzle size, you can make it so that it slopes off by merging the cone and the helper disc. I'll show you how to do that really quickly. So click them both, add to bed. You'll want to merge these items, okay? And then if they're not perfectly centered, you will go to object, and then under each one individually, you'll make sure that their object coordinates right here are both 0. That'll make sure they're perfect, okay? You'll want to scale the cone down. Do it from the other way. You'll want to scale the cone down, okay? Let's make them both 40. Okay, 40. 40, 40. The cone, the helper disc, you'll want it to be like about 1. You'll need to move this, well, you can move it down or up, but okay. Now remember, this one will only work if you're going to ABS smooth this, or you're going to do it with like a really small nozzle. I have a Revo system. I could do this in like a 0.25. Let's go slice now. But still, you're going to get those layer lines. Just because, you know, 3D printing, unless you have an SLA printer, which some people might have, would recommend ABS smoothing if you want to do it this way. But probably if you want to just make it easier, just add a helper disc. Don't worry about the cone. Just giving you other options, just so you know you have other options. Okay, so you can make it however tall you want. Let's say you want only 0.5. Okay. Now, this is what we're going to do. We are going to add negative volumes. Let's add part, let's add negative volume. And you could do a cylinder if you wanted your holes not to be square in the middle. Okay. You could even add a modifier, make life easier, and add, let's say we wanted to add a box. Okay. Let's center this box. So let's go to object. Let's 0 it. Okay. Okay, so we'll add the box. I just paused it real quickly to just make sure that I could do it quickly and not play around with it so much. It's been a while since I've done it this way. And I'll show you, there's 2 ways to do it, okay? So you'll add layers and perimeters, okay? You'll make these all 0. Okay? Now, watch what happens when you hit slice now. Okay? And then you can also change, if you hit, you should be able to change your infill. And then you can, instead of having it grid, you could also do cubic, slice now. You wouldn't probably want to do cubic. You might want to do, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. You could do honeycomb. We could do a whole bunch of different things. Let's see. What does line do? No. So you can just kind of play around with it, see what you like. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of too much fun with this at the moment. You can do gyroid. Let's see. Probably grid is what you're going for. What does concentric do? You won't want to do that because there will be nothing for it to latch onto. You'll probably want to, yeah, you won't want to do this one unless you, there might be a way to change. I don't remember if you can change the infill anchor so that it's anchored to itself, but let's see what line does. Slice now. Okay. Either which way, the other way to do it would be, we will get rid of the generic box. Oops, not that way. We will get rid of the infill, click it, delete. Okay, so you'll have the generic box still. We're going to change this to, okay, we're going to change this to a negative volume. Okay, we're going to resize this. Okay, and it doesn't have to be the box. It could be a circle, okay? So we'll do both, okay? So we'll do, first let's change the size. Let's make this 5 by 5 by 5, okay? Bring it down, okay? So watch what happens when you hit slice now. You have a hole, okay? Now, let's center this first off, okay? You're gonna want this to be centered in the middle. And if you want everything perfectly centered, you need to go to your object coordinates and make sure that each one of these are 0. and sometimes it does like this weird 001. That's something that's only been happening in this new alpha slicer. I'm using alpha 5. You don't need alpha 5. Okay, so what you can do is you can just copy, paste, move it up, and I like to do it in the table right here. You can do 5. Okay, and then, well, you probably don't want to do 5 because it'll be right next to each other. Let's do, so if this one is, where are we? Why does it say 1.88? Let's do 5. Okay, there we go. So now for this one right here, copy, paste it. Now let's make this one -5. And let's do that again. For some reason, it doesn't like to, it used to be really good about this, but I think this is this alpha version, okay? You can do it like this, and then what you can do is go to this box, control, copy, paste, and then just do it like this. And try to get it, I can be a little bit of a perfectionist. Okay, copy again. All right, so now if you want to make holes, so you want to make the holes so that, for your screws so that they don't go all the way through. Let's add another negative volume. Let's this time add a, let's go to your gallery. Let's add the cone this time. We're going to this time turn it upside down. It'll make sense why I'm doing it this way in a second. 180 this, okay? We're going to make this smaller. Let's make it 5. You'll want to measure your screw, okay? Let's make this by 5 as well. Okay, so we're going to, okay, let's go to your object. You want to make sure that at least on the, okay, on the y-axis it's zeroed so that it'll be even on both sides when we're there. Okay, and let's make this 5 again. 5. For whatever reason, it's not holding the values I'm setting. I think I have like 8 different versions of PrusaSlicer up because I'm doing a cosplay. I think I mentioned it. I don't remember if I did. But I'm doing a cosplay of Eris, and I'm redoing her rod so that it's all screwed together. So I have like several different PrusaSlicers open. Okay, so let's see. That's there, and then I'm going to copy this one, paste it, and okay, and then we're just going to take this one, if this one, okay, I'm just going to move it over because it's not working the way I want it to. Okay, so 573, and this one says -573. They should be exactly equal if you notice that. So, wait, okay, so 5, make this 553, so they should be exactly centered now, okay? Because 0 is here, and if this is, yeah, for whatever reason, of course it doesn't want to work for me right now, but that's okay. We'll just make this one 566. Okay, and all right, let's see. Okay, and then if you want to make, if you had a lot of the small little ones, so let's just copy this, copy, paste, we'll make it smaller. Let's make it 3, 3. It didn't seem like you, oh, Control Z, you didn't want this one. You actually had just round circular. So let's just do window, shape gallery, cylinder, add to bed. Well, we'll just merge it. Should have merged it to begin with, but whatever. We merge it. Remember, you click the merge, you click the cylinder while pressing control, and then and then they'll merge together. You change type, change it to negative volume. We need to change the size on this because that's way too big. Okay, so let's make this 3 by 3 by 3. Okay, you're going to want to move the cylinder to the bed, or there's going to be no negative volume there. All right, and then you're going to move it where you want to. And it's easier to first make it a negative volume and then copy paste it, because if you do it the other way around, you're going to have to change it individually to a negative volume, and that's annoying. So Control, copy, move it to where you want to. And then if you want this one to go higher, okay. And then what you can do is you can do multiple ones. You can copy, you can paste. We can take it here. We can rotate. I don't like to rotate it on the left-hand side, because if you don't do it in exact degrees, it comes to bite you later on. So I'll just do it by 90 and then move it this way. Move it down. Let's do this by -15. Let's do by -10. Okay. And then you can also take this and then like move it up. I mean, it kind of seemed like there were dots all over, so you can just kind of then, or what you can do is you can just right here and then copy, paste, and then can I mirror them all at once? No, just move them. It just depends. If you want to, you can export them as an STL together, and then you can do it that way if you really want to. But you could play around with this and like make it absolutely perfect if you want. Just depends on level of perfectionist. Sometimes I'm a little bit, sometimes a little bit more of a perfectionist than others. Okay. Come on. Copy all of this. Copy, paste. Let's rotate this way by 180. Move it down. Okay. Now, slice now. That is what you will have. And you will notice that this one hole right here, come on. You'll notice that for this layer, there's not a lot of layers. Yeah, there's not a lot of layers right now, but you'll notice that this layer is slightly bigger. But watch, if I were to take this right here and I were to make this, it'll be a little bit more defined if I do it this way. Let's make this by 10, well, maybe that's too big, 8 by 8. Okay. And it won't matter, those are negative volumes, okay? It's a little bit more defined. You'll see like these go straight down. Here. And then this one, it's tapered off so that the screw will kind of hold in place there. And if you want to, for this cone, okay, just make sure you do it on both sides. If you want to change it so that it's even more defined, you'll just take it like that, scale it down, and then it'll be even more defined. You see how that's more defined? And then you could use an M3 screw and you can make it so that it's an exact fit to the M3 screw if you choose to do it that way. So there you go. There's my non-fusion workaround. For anybody who wants to do it, but they don't have time, they don't want to learn fusion, and they just want to get it done. And because this, you know, is an alternative. And remember, you can make this bigger. This is way too thin. And you can then take it and then you can make the whole thing bigger or just the helper disc bigger, which probably is just better to do the helper disc. So let's, because the other merged is all the negative volume. So let's do this by 2. Okay, slice now. Okay, and just make sure that your negative volumes are all big enough to go to the bottom. Okay, so what you can do, make life easier, is just move the helper disc up. Make sure everything shows at the bottom. There you go. Oh, remember we did it on one side but not the other? Okay, so let's go to this cone. Okay, and let's make the cone big enough so that it will actually show. Okay, slice now. There you go. And the nice thing about doing it this way is it's very easy to play with. And now you can see, you know, and then you can also come in here. Oh, that's too big. I don't like it that way. Let's do it like this. And then it allows you to come back and change it much more easily, because I also do Blender, and it's not as easy to change things in Blender. You know, keeping it this way, it allows you to play with it endlessly and to change things as you need to. You don't like it that way? Well, guess what? You can change it easy. It's not a stuck. When you have a file that is all one STL, then you're kind of, it's much harder. You have to take it into Blender and edit the vertices one by one, which is kind of what I had to do for my, let me see if I can show you in, that was a snail. Sorry, I'm cosplaying as Eris. Where is it? Okay, so like this one right here, you can see right here, I edited this silver, the silver tip, I added these designs in, but this one right here, originally the, oh, I don't know if you can see my screen. Of course, it'll show the screen. I don't want it to, but okay. But like this one over here, come on. So I'm making this so that they all screw together. I got this off of printables, and I'm just cosplaying. I'm not making it for anybody else, but it's going along great so far. I redesigned this, and I added designs that I like. But this file right here, had I left it alone, I would have had to print it with a lot of supports. I had to go in and one by one edit the vertices so that I didn't have to print it with supports in Blender. But, you know, in a way, if I wanted to, I could have, if I found the right design, I could have used a negative volume, moved it up, and then just had it as a negative volume. But, you know, I just don't have the time, because the thing I'm going to is on Friday and it's Wednesday. So, you know, that's that. All right. Hope you enjoyed my 17-minute tutorial. So yeah, this is the original file over here. You can see what it was before. So it was that. And right here is the file it was originally. You will see right here, it would need supports right there. So doing it this way and changing it so that that doesn't need supports just greatly reduces the time. And this right here, these screws are just something that are already here. They're in the shape gallery. They're the M3. You just scale them up so that when you scale them out, you make them bigger. You scale them out on your Z so that way you don't have to print them with supports. And then if you notice on the bottom, I have you have to resize them on the bottom of the next one. So like right here, this one is the screw, but I had to make it bigger. I scaled it up by like 100.5, and of course it goes back to 100. So like this is 18.13, and then this one right here, right there, this one is 18. So I'll add this to the top of the next one, and then right here, my negative volume right here will be like 18.13. So otherwise there's too much friction, especially if you're using a larger nozzle size. So you'll notice that my prints right here, I'm using a MK3S Plus when I print. So that's the only thing I need supports for. This is a 4-hour and 16-minute print. And this actually prints out so far. I forgot to do the other side. I forgot to mirror the other side. Okay, oh well. So yeah, Blender's fun. So this is my Blender. So Blender's really nice. I do highly recommend you learn Blender over Fusion if you can. Just trying to figure out which part of it, because you can go, the nice thing about Blender is if you learn it, it's harder to learn, but once you do, if you want to, you can, of course, everything likes to mess up on me. You can edit the parts that you want, okay? Highlight the vertices you like, and then you can also see what your vertices are doing, okay? And then you can just move the item up as you need to. I think that was a side that needed to go up. And then you export it as an STL. Wipe. Cancel. I accidentally have that one clicked. Control Z. Okay. move this up. So you'll just export it as an STL. This one should be that. And then I just go back to Prusa and reload. I don't even know if that's the right sides. Oh wow, did I not pay attention to that? Then I just go wherever it was, so over tip, reload from disk, slice now. Yeah, see, I didn't do it right. See that? You do it wrong, then you have to redo it again. But that's how I will do it. Too many files up, too many files up. File. Wait. But either which way, nice thing about Blender is that if you need to just switch one thing, you can like make it taller and fix one thing at a time. File, export STL, and you can just see this, and I'll fix this later on in my own time. Reload. And you see how it changed right there. Now it has a sharper tip. All right, there you go. Hope you enjoyed.